Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Hello.
It has been quite a while, 2.5,
Almost 3 years.
almost 3 years since my last video. So I thought I would check in and let everybody know how I'm doing and why I've been gone for so long. Obviously, I am still quite happily married. I was sitting here with my best half.
Winning.
And a lot has happened in that time, during that time. And many of you reach out, wanting to know what's going on, wanting to know what's happening, where am I at, what am I doing? And I do get a lot of people still reaching out, unfortunately saying that I'm right where you're at. They see that first video and it just crushes them. They relate to it on every level. It tears me apart. It's tearing them apart. And so I've been really torn about making videos, not making videos. I try to get back to, people who reach out to me, whether it's, through an email or on the, in the comments and messages and things like that. And I had to pull myself away from it all. I wasn't going to move forward. I wasn't going to heal. There wasn't going to be progression for me if I just stayed in it. A lot of people will reach out or message or, people that I am in contact with. I'll say, did you watch so-and-so? Did you ever watch so-and-so's videos or watch so-and-so's TikTok? And I have to tell you, I think I've mentioned it in past videos. I literally watched nobody. Even when I was making videos, I didn't watch videos or TikToks or any of those things on people who are experts in the field and know about narcissism and know about the abuse and the effects of it. I just never did. I wanted to come, when I was making my videos, I wanted to come from a place that was fresh, a place that was just genuinely me and my own experiences. So I didn't feel a need to do that, but more so, I don't steep myself in it, listening to it and just constantly having it around me. I feel like it's maybe not a healthy thing to do. I know some of you want to do that for educational purposes and to have a better understanding of it. I got a better understanding of it through therapy. And in speaking with my therapist, I have a therapist now. And that was where I got my education and understanding from. I didn't submerge myself in it 24/7. I wake up listening to somebody, go to bed listening to somebody. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't even pick up books and read them when I first realized what was going on. I found that very traumatic, so I never did. But I just needed to step away from it, and I have to tell you, it caused me a lot of conflict. How many times did I come to you and say, should I be making videos? Should I make a video? I felt really bad. When you get through something like this and you're in a place that I'm in, I'm incredibly blessed. These last couple of years, I could make videos every day nonstop, and I wouldn't be able to catch you all up in a month to tell you what's been going on in my life and all the good things that have happened. And I don't know if that helps, if it provides hope, if it, people don't want to hear it. But I was really conflicted because I felt like going back to it and making more videos was kind of dragging me back into it and kind of holding me in that place. I hope this makes sense to some of you. You reach out, some people will reach out and they're like, I'm in the middle of this and he or she is doing this to me. And what about my stuff? And what about this? And what about that? And I talked to you about this too. I'm in a place that's so far from where I used to be. I almost feel like I'm not the person to ask because I feel like I would be so cut and dry about it. Those things aren't going to matter to you. The stuff that's in the house isn't going to matter. Your assets aren't going to matter. So many things just aren't going to mean anything, but emotions are running so high and there's so many bad feelings and there's so much hurt and spite and everybody's trying to, one up the other. And when you're out of it for so long and you're in this place that's so far removed from where you were, none of it means anything.
And you don't want to go back and revisit it.
Yeah, and you don't want to go back and revisit it. But I don't have anything that I used to have. And because it was so contentious, it was like, I want my things and let me in the house. And, it's all out there. You guys probably saw the videos. You know exactly what I went through. And now none of that means nothing to me.
Right.
Literally nothing.
Right. I guess there's two things I wanted to add. Originally, it was just one. I came up with this thing. Something my dad.
Of course you did.
Dad told me. But so I have this ditch analogy. So let's just imagine life is a highway, right? No, not the song.
Here we go.
All right, but you're driving down the road, right? And something bad happens to you, or you find yourself in a bad place. So what happens is, let's just say for all intents and purposes, the car drives off the road into the ditch. The ditch is this U-shaped thing, and it can be depression, it could be your relationship, it could be a bad job, whatever it is. But once you're in the ditch, if you're like, oh, I want to get out of the ditch, and you try a little bit, or oh, I'm going to try and get it, you turn the wheel a little bit, the car goes up the hill a little bit, and then just slides right back in. No matter which way you turn the wheel, it's real easy to stay down in that ditch, and you're slowed down, you're bumping along, and it's awful. I've been in this place in my life before, not with these types of struggles necessarily, but just other things, other challenges. It takes real effort, a concerted choice and decision to say, we're getting out of the ditch. Hang on.
The mental
we're turning left, or if you're in UK, you're turning right, and we're going to get back up on the road. We're going to power drive up over top. We're going to make sacrifices. We're going to do things to get back onto the high road and start moving along and enjoying life again. And so I know a lot of Nora's videos have talked to people about, and she's gotten a lot of messages from folks saying, oh, I can't do it. I don't know. I mean, this is impossible. I can't make this happen. So what? Those are mental obstacles. Those are not real obstacles if you truly want to get out of it. And the second thing I wanted to say real quick is something my dad told me when I was a little kid. I was a little kid. We had a motorhome, a caravan for some of you, and we would go on vacation for a few weeks, right? My whole family of 5, and we squeezed into this relatively small vehicle, and we lived there for 2 weeks, right? And we came home to our not very big house. I didn't grow up in a large home. And I was like, holy cow, our house is massive now. I mean, it's really big. You got all this space. And I looked at the motorhome and I was like, I can't believe, Dad, wow, we just lived in there these last 2 weeks. And he looked at me and he said, well, it's entirely possible for a man to have all of his worldly possessions fit in a little box, and that's all he needs. And it's true. The military taught me that. If they didn't think you needed something, they didn't issue it to you. It's the way it was. They gave you exactly what you needed and nothing more. And you'd be surprised how little you need. And I think what Nora's trying to say in this video too is it's temporary. And some of you might be saying, oh no, I'm at the end of my life. I'm too old. You're not too old. I have been inspired by countless individuals in my life who switched careers midstream, late, and are now super happy. Enjoy the time that you have left. Make the best out of what is ahead of you and let go of this stuff. And I'm not saying letting go is easy. No one's saying it's easy.
That's the hard part. And it's not just the letting go, it's the healing. The healing process is so slow and so grueling after what a narcissist puts you through. And, like you're saying though, there's still so much ahead of you. I went through that. I had that mentality. My life is over. I'm this old. I've got kids, yada, yada, yada. And I can't begin to tell you the things that I've experienced since I left that
fine human being.
Yeah.
That fine individual.
That bag of skin. And I mean, but you're so stuck there. And you've been in that place for so long. You feel like it's impossible to get out of the ditch. To get out of the ditch. And, you hear people telling you, oh, you just, you'll get over it, you'll heal, you have to, change your way of thinking and it's mental discipline and so on. And you think to yourself, there's just no way. I'm so tired. I'm so weak. I'm so beaten down. I'm broken down. It's just not going to happen. And I promise you it does. And the minute you're away from them, your perspective changes, everything changes because you don't have that weight on you anymore. You don't have that negativity, that constant reminder, making you feel horrific.
You're energized.
Right.
You have suddenly there's possibilities.
So you go from this mentality of, oh my gosh, I'm so old and washed up and I'm this and I'm that. And I learned how to surf.
Yes, you did learn how to surf.
So if somebody would have told me when I was going through that, oh, don't worry about it, you'll be fine, you're going to go learn how to surf, I would have thought that they were completely unstable. But again, it just goes back to, you got to give yourself time and get somebody good to talk to, somebody who will listen to you, hopefully a professional, and just don't steep yourself in it too much. And, going forward, I probably will make more videos. I have a lot of people reaching out and asking about what's going on and what I've been doing with my life. And there's a lot to tell. A lot has happened.
Some people, yeah. I mean, we are fortunate. We have been blessed in our life, and our lifestyle is not normal. But I haven't had a normal life actually ever.
But people want to know what's happened in my personal life.
Right,
You know,
right.
like with family and stuff.
Sure.
You know,
things have happened with them. Those poor little people.
Yeah, a lot has happened, and it's like, you know, do I do videos about that? I don't know. I have no idea. There's just so much. I wouldn't know where to start. But going forward, yeah, my videos, if I were to do videos, it would just be more about positive things and how my life has changed, and sharing the positive things that I have going on. And I don't know if that'll help anybody. I don't know if it'll give you hope, if it will help uplift you and give you something to look forward to. If you're like, no, I don't want to hear that because I'm just in this rut. And I know what the rut is like, and the rut is awful. But I've also heard from people who reach out later and they're like, you know what, I did it. I left. One woman said, I took your advice. I've been out, and I was really kind of shaken by that. I was excited, but I was also a little it was a little unsettling to hear somebody say, I left because of you. I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? That was scary. But she went on to say that she was in a much better place. Yep. You know, I'm glad I helped to influence that, but I'm not here to be a lawyer, doctor, shrink, none of those things. This just all started out as me sharing my experiences. And as of late, my experiences have been nothing but good.
And it's important, I think, maybe for the evolution of this channel, there's a starting point where a lot of people identify with, right? It's not good. And then there's the angry phase, right? There's the, how am I going to get out of this phase? There's the dealing with it. There's a lot of phases, right? But there's also when things get good and you move out of it and staying in that nice, good, positive spot. So really sharing, you know, whatever you decide to do moving forward, sharing those types of things is pretty appropriate at this point so that people can see and understand.
Yeah, and I will share this. So, you know, my very first videos, I was wrecked. I don't recognize that person anymore, you know, and then things evolved. You guys watched me go through the divorce and sling all the dirt and the mud and everything else. And then it was like later on, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a good place and I'm this and I'm that. And then I came in and I was like crying because I heard from a girlfriend and she was with her family and I was a mess. You know, so healing isn't linear. You know, you take 10 steps forward, you take one back, then you take another 10, then you might take two.
Or one forward and 10 back.
And yeah. And so every time I thought I was at this place, you know, it just smelled like flowers and it was all sunshine, I realized I wasn't quite there yet. And there was a lot to learn along the way. And so I thought that I had arrived, you know, with my healing. I thought, this is it, I'm good now. And then something else would come up or something would happen, something, you know, big in life, or just something in me would get kind of dug up or uncovered. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, there it is again. And that's why I'm still carrying this around. And that's why I'm still feeling this way. And there I am, you know, hashing it out with my therapist to try to work through it. So it's like, you know, you got Nora 1.0, then you got Nora 2.0. Then I was like 3, I know, it's like, so there's going to be different versions of yourself in your healing process. I'm like, what, Nora?
10.0. This one goes to
I like
11.
I like that I'm 10. That's good. That's a good one. So yeah, there's going to be different versions of yourself throughout your healing, and that's why you have to really protect yourself. That's why you have to really guard yourself. You got to guard what you read and what you listen to and what you take in, because things can set you back.
You want to move forward.
You want to move forward. And had I been just kind of in all that muck, I probably wouldn't have moved forward, even though, you know, there were setbacks along the way. I feel like I just kind of would have stayed in it. And that I think that I've been fearful of that. I think I've been fearful of that. I don't want to get stuck in it. My boundaries are still very high. I've eliminated the people that I think will cause me setbacks. Just an update. I'm still very close to my oldest son. We have a granddaughter now. She's an angel. And I am still estranged from my 2 younger children. And I love them. I love them and I miss them. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about them. But my boundaries are still in place.
Yep.
I hope someday we can get past certain things. I hope that they have found a road to healing, because we were all victims. It wasn't just me. It wasn't me because I was married to him. We were victims. We were all victims. And yeah, I love them very, very much. And I want only good things for them. Meanwhile, I have to maintain my boundaries.
Right. We're not going to, just because Nora loves her children doesn't mean like, okay, we're going to let you come back in and walk all over us.
I can't.
And let you continue behaving the way that you behave and acting the way that you act. Those individuals have to go through their process. They need to acknowledge what's wrong and move forward and get healing done there too. What's important here, though, with the theme of this is that, like, why go back to that, though? Even though it's her children and she loves them, we can't go straight back to where they were and how they were behaving and just say it's okay, because
Right.
that's not okay.
No,
And it's not acceptable.
so your boundaries need to apply to everybody. And that's where I'm at. My boundaries apply to everybody. And it's unbelievable when I think back to the way some people spoke to me and the way some people treated me, that in this life that I have now, that I share with my husband and my son, my granddaughter, I'm loved and respected day in and day out.
Yep.
There's no way on this earth anybody would step into my space and disrespect me, and it would go unnoticed by myself or
Right.
anyone else for that matter. And to think that that was accepted and it was just a way of life to me is really foreign now. So I have to maintain those boundaries. But yeah, a lot of things have changed, and I still have, you know, certain walls up, but I'm just,
It's not like before.
no, not at all. Not at all. So yeah, Nora 1.0.
11. This one goes to 11.
Whatever. So, you know, if you do want to hear what's been going on, if there's something you want me to cover in a video, or, you know, a subject that you want to hear about,
Leave a comment down below.
leave a comment. Leave a comment.
She reads them.
I do.
I hear about them.
Thanks for watching.